Loading. Wonderful. Let's begin. Good evening, everybody, and Happy New Year. The notice requirement provided for the Open Public Meetings Law has been satisfied. Notice is properly given. Said notice having been transmitted to the Courier News on December 22nd, 2021, as well as posted on the bulletin board in the City Clerk's office. I will now begin with the reading of the certifications of election. The Board of County Canvassers of Union County does hereby determine that at an election held in the said county on the second day of November in the year 2021, Adrian O. Mapp was duly elected mayor for a 4-year term in the city of Plainfield. Swearing in Mayor Mapp will be the Honorable Assemblywoman Linda Carter, who will be administering the oath of office. Assemblywoman Linda Carter, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone, and Happy New Year. Happy New Year to the residents of the city of Plainfield, Mayor Mapp, members of the Plainfield City Council and administration, and especially all that are on here that are friends and family that are outside of Plainfield, and especially here in Union County and in the state of New Jersey. It is truly an honor to once again be able to join you as you reorganize and usher in yet another year of collaboration and partnerships for the betterment of the city of Plainfield. This evening, I have the honor of swearing a friend who has given nearly 2 decades of public service to his community, an individual whom I had the opportunity to serve with on the Plainfield City Council, who represented his community, also as a member of the Union County Board of Chosen Freeholders, now known as the Union County Board of Commissioners, and who has also been elected to an historic 3rd consecutive term as mayor of the city of Plainfield, New Jersey. But, you know, I normally bring greetings, and I start out with greetings from LD 22, Legislative District 22 here in the state of New Jersey, on behalf of Assemblyman Jim Kennedy and Senator Nick Scutari. But I have a special guest who would like to give brief remarks as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you our very own chairman of the Union County Democratic Party and soon to be Senate President, Senator Nick Scutari. Senator.
Thank you, Assemblywoman. Thank you, Mayor Mapp, members of council, committee members, and members of the public. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to say congratulations to my dear friend, Adrian Mapp. Mayor Mapp has been a trailblazer in the city of Plainfield since I've known him. Since we go back to the New Democrats of Plainfield, Adrian was always a trailblazer. Been a dear friend of mine since the day I met him, and I've been a big supporter of his, and he's been a big supporter of mine. It's a two-way street. He's done a great job of making sure that those trains move on time. I can tell you that he is all about Plainfield all the time. He's a great man. If you know him, you'll love him. He's dedicated to the city. He's a wonderful friend and mentor to many. And I couldn't be more excited about the city of Plainfield and how it's the direction that it's moving. Working with a great city council and group of local leaders, I know that Adrian's going to be successful, and anything that I can do to continue in that process, I'm going to help. And the Assemblywoman's right. I am on the precipice of potentially being the next president of the New Jersey Senate. And that's going to not just be a win for me, that's going to be a win for all of us. Having my dear friend Linda Carter serving with me in the legislature, we're going to make sure that Union County is on the map in New Jersey. So thank you for everything you've done for me for those years. And Adrian, everything that I can do for you, you know, I'm a phone call away. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to say hello and congratulations. I'm so very happy for you and your family, and to the members of City Council. You're doing a great job, and keep up the great work. Thank you.
Well, thank you, my friend.
Okay, now, so Mayor Mapp, are you ready to take your oath of office?
I'm ready.
All right, now, if you'll raise your right hand and put your left hand on your Bible and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Adrian O. Mapp,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all of the duties of the office of Mayor, City of Plainfield,
all of the duties of the office of Mayor, City of Plainfield,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
I do further solemnly swear
I do further solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States and in this state,
in the United States and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mayor Mapp, on this third historic term.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Congratulations, Mayor Mapp. Thank you, Assemblywoman Carter and Senator Nick Scutari. We'll now move on to the reading of the certificate of election for Terry Briggs Jones. The Board of County Canvassers of Union County does hereby determine that at an election held in said county on the second day of November in the year 2021, Terry Briggs Jones was duly elected Councilwoman, 4th Ward, for a 4-year term in the city of Plainfield. The oath of office will be administered by Mayor Adrian O. Mapp. Mayor, the floor is yours.
Well, thank you. Let me take this opportunity to welcome Councilor Terry Briggs Jones to this Plainfield City Council. And I want to give her the assurance that my administration and I stand ready, willing, and able to work with her to make sure that she is a success and that she represents the 4th Ward and the city of Plainfield in the best way possible. And I have every confidence that she will do an excellent job. So I look forward to working with Councilor Terry Briggs Jones. And at this time, I'm happy to administer the oath of office. Briggs Jones, if you will stand and have that Bible ready. And if you will unmute, we hear you better when you're not muted.
Okay.
That's better. If you'll repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Terry Briggs Jones,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully
impartially,
and partially
and justly perform
and justly perform
all of the duties of the office of
all of the duties of the office of
Councilwoman,
Councilwoman,
4th Ward, City of Plainfield,
4th Ward, City of Plainfield,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
I do further solemnly swear
I do further solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same
and allegiance to the same
and to the governments established in the United States
and to the government established to the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Councilor.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome.
Congratulations, Councilwoman Briggs Jones, and thank you, Mayor Mapp. I will
Thank you.
now call the roll for the 2022 Plainfield City Council. Councilwoman Terry Briggs Jones,
Yes.
present. Councilwoman Ashley
Present.
Davis.
Present.
Councilman Barry Good. Councilman Barry Good. Present. Councilman Steve Hockaday,
Present.
Councilman Sean McKenna,
Present.
Councilman Charles McCray,
Present.
and Councilwoman Mills Ransom.
Present.
We have all members present and a quorum. We'll now move on to the election of 2022 City Council President. The floor is now open for nominations for council.
Mr. City Clerk, I nominate myself to be Council President for the year 2022.
I'll second that
On that nomination. Okay, are there any other nominations?
Mr. Clerk, I nominate Barry N. Good for the 2022 Plainfield City Council President.
I'll second it.
Okay, well, seconded by Councilman Charles McCray. We're going to read the nominations in the order that they were received. We're going to read the nomination first for Councilwoman Ashley Davis, which was seconded by Councilman McKenna. Council members Terry Briggs Jones. I can't hear you.
I'm sorry, what?
This is the nomination for Councilwoman Davis to serve as Council President.
Yes.
Councilwoman Davis,
Yes.
Councilman Good. Councilman Hockaday,
No.
Councilman McKenna,
Yes.
Councilman McCray,
No.
and Councilwoman Mills Ransom.
No.
That's 3 in favor, 4 opposed. That motion fails. We'll now move on to the motion of Councilman Barry Good to serve as the 2022 City Council President, which was seconded by Councilman Charles McCray, moved by Councilwoman Mills Ransom. Council members Terry Briggs Jones,
Yes.
Councilwoman Davis,
No.
Councilman Good,
Yes.
Councilman Hockaday,
Yes.
Councilman McKenna,
No.
Councilman McCray,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mills Ransom.
Yes.
That is 5 in favor, 2 opposed. That motion passes. And I now declare Councilman Barry Good as the 2022 City Council President. Councilman Good, are you prepared to take the oath of office and do the Bible present?
Yes, I do.
Will you please place your left hand on the Bible and raise your right hand? When I say I, state your name and repeat after me, sir. I state your name.
I, Barry Good,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all of the duties
all the duties
of the office of City Council President, City of Plainfield,
of the office City Council President, City of Plainfield,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
I do further solemnly swear
I do further solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same
and allegiance to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. It's my pleasure to hand this meeting over to you, Council President.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. First, let me start out by saying that, let me get it together here. I want to say Happy New Year to everyone. And I'm going to start out by saying congratulations to Mayor Adrian O'Map on his win, his historic win. And we continue to wish him well. Also to my colleague, Terry Briggs Jones, Councilwoman Terry Briggs Jones, on her win. We're all in this together. And I'm looking forward to working with the newest member of the council, as well as the mayor and his administration and my colleagues, to continue to move the city we call the Queen City forward. and make it a place to continue to make it a place of love, peace, and hope for everyone. And as your council president, I will do my best in this position to be as successful as I can. Thank you. Okay, moving forward. Mr. Clerk.
Council
I believe we're
President,
gonna have remarks from the mayor. Mr. Clerk?
Yes, we now move on to the election of the 2022 vice president.
I'm sorry, 2022 vice president. The floor is now open for nominations for 2022 vice president of the Plainfield City Council.
I'll nominate my fraternity brother, Charles McCray, as council vice president
Is there a second?
on J5.
Is there a second?
Oh, she's on mute.
I'm sorry, I was on mute. I second the nomination.
Are there any more nominations for Plainfield vice president of the city council? Any more nominations?
Come on, again, wait.
Do we need a motion to close the floor for nominations?
Yes,
or-
we do. Is there? I move
I move that we
that.
close the floor for nominations.
Is there a second to
So
close?
moved.
Floor?
I
So
second.
moved. Second.
All right, I'll now call the roll on the nomination of Councilman Charles McCray to serve as the 2022 vice president. Council members Terry Briggs Jones,
Yes.
Councilwoman Davis,
No.
Councilman Hockaday,
Yes.
Councilman McKenna,
No.
Councilman McCray,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mills Ransom,
Yes.
Council President Barry Good.
Yes, sir. Yes.
5 in favor, 2 oppose. Councilman Charles McCray is now the 2022 vice president. Councilman McCray, do you have a Bible present?
Yes, I do.
Can you please place your left hand on that Bible and raise your right hand? When I say I, please state your name and repeat after me. I state your name,
I, Charles McCray,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all of the duties
all of the duties
of the office of Vice President, City of Plainfield,
of the office of Vice President, City of Plainfield,
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
I do further solemnly swear
I do further solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same
and allegiance to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations, Vice President McCray.
Thank you.
Now we're going to have remarks from the mayor. Mayor Adrian Mapp, you have the floor.
Well, thank you, Council President. Congratulations on assuming the office of President of the Plainfield City Council. And congratulations as well to Councilman McCray for being voted as the Vice President of the Council. We've accomplished many things over the past 8 years, things that many thought were unachievable. I'd like to thank the people of Plainfield for re-electing me as mayor for this historic third term. Everything that I've been able to accomplish as mayor on your behalf has been because of your support and belief in me. I'd like to thank my team who has worked hard to execute this vision and make our plans a reality. I would also like to give thanks for the many partnerships that I've been able to build, resulting in a better Plainfield. I refer to my partnership with Senator Nick Scutari, whose friendship and support for Plainfield have been a blessing. My partnership with Assemblywoman Carter, who is always there when I need her. My partnership with state, federal, and county officials who always answer my calls and respect and value Plainfield. Our partnerships with investors and developers whose renewed confidence in our city has led to historic investments in Plainfield. I would be remiss if I didn't recognize one of the most important partnerships of all. That is my partnership with the members of this governing body, whose support is critically important to everything we do. A city council that doesn't work with the mayor and his administration is at best a roadblock. I am grateful for the support and partnership with members of this august body. And so I thank you. My agenda in 2014 was an agenda of change. It included significant infrastructure improvements, an aggressive approach to crime fighting, attracting serious investors, improving our fiscal outlook, and creating a better quality of life for all residents. We have made significant improvements in all those areas. We've reduced violent crime by 54% and overall crime by 40%. Almost half of the roads in Plainfield have been paved. All recreational spaces have been improved with multi-million-dollar makeovers for Seidler and Rushmore, as well as Cedarbrook Park, where the county invested millions of dollars in transforming that facility. We've moved city finances from dismal to exceptional, generating in excess of $8 million in surplus each year for the past 4 years. Home values have risen by over 70%, and we've been ranked as number 9 on a list of 25 suburbs in America where home values are growing the fastest. You've heard me say this many times, and I'll keep saying it because 8 years ago, it would have been inconceivable. We have over $1 billion in investment dollars right here in the city of Plainfield. And there's so much more to come, from a technology innovation corridor to major developments in our downtown commercial area and a promising cannabis industry. Although we have come through 2 extremely challenging years, it has not stopped the progress and growth in the Queen City. It has not been easy, and the road has been filled with challenges and obstacles. But through planning, perseverance, focus, and teamwork, we are poised to have the best time yet in our history. It's not the Plainfield of old, although we love that so many reminders of our proud history are still with us. We are a city that has been reimagined. We are a vibrant, multicultural, inclusive city that is growing in leaps and bounds. It is a city unlike the city of 8 years ago. It is a city of change, and we move into the next 4 years with the assurance that the state of our city is strong. And I want to thank again all of you and the people of this great city for the confidence that is being bestowed upon me. And I look forward to leading our city over the next 4 years to even higher heights. The best is yet to come. We need look only at what is happening in our city today, and we know that the future is bright. And I look forward to continuing the working partnerships and friendships that I've established across this county and state. And I know that Plainfield will be in a better place each and every day. And we are blessed to be living in this great city, affectionately referred to as the Queen City. Thank you, and may God bless Plainfield and every single resident in our great city. May God bless us all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. To public comments. Public comments, a total of 30 minutes has been allocated for public comments, limited to resolutions being considered on this evening. I emphasize limited to resolutions being considered this evening. If you wish to be heard, please hit the hand icon to be recognized, and you will be unmuted. Once unmuted, please give your name and address for the record. Again, each speaker will be given 3 minutes. The floor is now open. Commissioner Rebecca Williams.
Hello.
You have the floor.
Thank you, Council President, and congratulations to you. Congratulations to the mayor and congratulations to Councilwoman Briggs Jones. Congratulations to Councilman McCray on being vice president once again. For some reason, I got the wrong link, so I've been listening, but I'm not a panelist. But I wanted to thank you all for everything that you do for the city, especially you, Mayor. I want to thank you and congratulate you on your historic win. As you said, the best is yet to come. I know that that is a truism, and I'm looking forward to it in 2022. And that's pretty much all I have to say. I will see you all in person very, very soon, and I'll continue to watch. But congratulations. And I do bring greetings as well from my colleagues on the Union County Board of County Commissioners. Thank you. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. We appreciate your comments. Rodney Good, please state your name and address for the record.
My name is Rodney Good. My address is 150 Lake Merrill Drive, and that is in sunny West Palm Beach, Florida. First of all, I'd just like to say Happy New Year to all assembled, and congratulations to all the newly and continued elected folks, especially to my brother. I just want to take an opportunity to say how proud I am. We come from a very long line of servants to the people. And I know our ancestors, our grandparents are looking down and smiling. And I know the city of Plainfield is in very good hands, and that pun is intended. And I just feel like there's so many members of this council that I'm familiar with, because when I get on the phone with my brother, Councilman Good, he talks about all of you all the time. So I know the city of Plainfield is in good hands. And should I ever decide to leave sunny West Palm Beach, Plainfield will be the place I reside. So again, Happy New Year and congratulations to all the newly elected. Thank you.
Mr. Good, thank you for your comments. Is there anyone else?
Currently, there's no one else with their hand raised.
Thank you so much. Do I have a motion? Do I hear a motion to close public comment?
So moved.
Seconded, Hacker.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion granted. We move on. We are moving on to resolutions and motions. Are there any questions on resolutions R00-22 through R01-22 through 006-22? Any questions from my colleagues?
Yes.
Councilwoman Davis, you have the floor.
Thank you. So I just have some concerns for R001-22. So this is another year where we're only meeting once a month with the exception of January. And it's just kind of still concerning that we only meet once a month. It prevents us from having effective resident follow-up since the meetings are about 30 days in between each other. So we've talked about at the last meeting, sometimes isn't still pertinent at the next meeting when it comes to public comments. Also, I just want to know why we can't have maybe multiple combined meetings a month to have the administration the opportunity to put more things on the agenda, because right now, if you miss 1 month, you have to wait all the way till the next month. Also, it says that meetings are virtual. So my question is, for how long are meetings going to be virtual? Because I feel it's important for leaders to lead. And sometimes leaders lead from the back, sometimes they lead from the middle. This is a time where we need to step up and lead from the front. Employees are already back to work in person. There's usually a quorum of council members at ribbon cuttings, at city events, at events where the public is at. So why can't we have council meetings in person, or at least consider a hybrid model similar to what the Board of Education has, where they're able to have people in person. And if you're unable to make it in person, be it you're sick or whatever your situation is, you can also be there virtual. I think it's important for the council to truly be leaders of the city. And if employees are back at work, then council members should be back at work. Also, we've been on Zoom for over 2 years, and it is clear that there's still not a mastery of this platform. And sometimes the distractions on Zoom are worse than the distractions in person. So I think that we should probably consider a hybrid model. And even if it's not this meeting or the January meeting, to just say that all meetings are virtual unless a location is designated by the council president, really leads one to believe that the meetings for the rest of this year will continue to be virtual. Also, my question and comment is for resolution 005-22. If we're meeting once a month, is it necessary for us to have a consent agenda when we kind of make that ourselves? But is that really necessary since we're not meeting multiple times? That worked better when we had agenda fixing and then a regular business meeting, because then we were able to see what was not controversial at agenda fixing and then make a consent agenda there. So I think the question may be for the clerk, is this particular resolution necessary, or is it just here because we do it every year?
Councilwoman, thank you for your question. Just to respond to a couple of them. For the first one, this meeting schedule is the proposed meeting schedule that we're putting forward that's temporary. If at any point the council deems that they want to go back to public, they can. If at any time they deem that they want to meet more than once a month, they can. This is just the schedule that's being put forth before the council for consideration right now. In addition to that, should there ever be the need for meeting in between the first combined meeting and the second, or subsequent meetings after that, a special meeting can be called by the mayor or by the council president at any time to tackle whatever business is before the city. Now, to address 005, I believe that was 005 concerning the use of the consent agenda. In order for us to lump items together, we would still have to have some type of procedure for doing that if we want to vote on items all together. In addition to that, if we do end up going back to an agenda fixing session in regular meeting, we don't have to adopt this resolution because it's already been taken care of.
Thank you for your responses. So I do understand the special meeting protocol. I think that was more of a rhetorical comment and more of a conversation amongst council members about the proposed schedule, because ultimately we are the ones that get to vote on it. I think though, based off of the schedule that is presented, it does not look like we're going back to agenda fixing. I think that would be a conversation subsequently. Well, that would be a conversation for right now, but I think that what we've been doing this year with simply making motions to combine resolutions works. I mean, the consent agenda isn't, once again, it's not a hill to die on, but I think it's just kind of unnecessary, being that it's not actually going to be put into practice this year. But thank you for your response.
You're welcome.
Davis, thank you for your valued input. We appreciate it. Now that your questions have been answered, are there any more questions from my colleagues? in regards.
I just have one comment, Council President, and to just say that I agree with my colleague, Ms. Davis, about the single meetings. I don't think it's necessary to do that. I think having 2 meetings is helpful for council members. I think it's helpful for the public to have conversations at the agenda setting sessions about the different ordinances and resolutions. And I think it allows the public additional time to put in their 2 cents, which I think is probably one of the reasons that we do so many single meetings in a month. And I also think that there's no reason why we shouldn't, because everybody on this panel that I can see got a raise this year. So the least we could do is work twice a month.
Thank you, Councilman McKenna. Mr. Clerk, this is subject to change as our situation with the global pandemic, correct? We could meet and change this because this can be amended.
Absolutely, this calendar can be amended at any time.
Thank you so much.
Council President, just a quick question, just clarification. How does a Zoom meeting affect 1 or 2 meetings a month with a pandemic or not? I'm just not sure how the pandemic plays into that. If we had to have a special meeting every week, we could do that, right?
But correct me if I'm wrong. If things change with the pandemic, we will be able to meet in person. Am I correct?
No, I'm asking about the 2 meetings a month.
2 meetings.
How the pandemic affects us not being able to have 2 meetings a month.
Are you speaking of virtually, Councilman?
Virtually, in person, by text message, whatever, smoke signal, whatever.
Well, it looks as of now, we probably will be doing virtually with 1 meeting.
And so the pandemic keeps us from having 2 meetings?
Pandemic keeps us from joining together in 1 room.
But what keeps us from having 2 meetings? Why would we just have 1, in your opinion, as the council president?
In my opinion, Mr. McKenna, there's really nothing keeping us from doing it. We are here to vote on the 1 session. That's what we're here to do. I heard you mention something about the public, and you mentioned that it was, we would like to have their 2 cents. I think our public deserves more than 2 cents. And of course, they are capable of asking questions at any time and reaching out to us and getting any information on the agenda, whether it be 1 meeting or 2. So, you know, as it stands now, we will be voting on the 1 session.
I just have a clarifying question. So, Mr. Clerk, you said that this can be amended at any point. So do we come back with a resolution to then amend the rest of the council calendar if we felt like in March we wanted to go back to 2 meetings from 1 meeting? I do know that you said we can have special meetings, but special meetings only deal with particular items on the agenda, and that's all that the public could speak to, while a regular council combined meeting, agenda fixing, or business meeting gives the public to talk about whatever's on the agenda as well as general public comment. So what would be the protocol if we wanted to come back and amend this later, as you spoke of earlier?
Councilwoman, I'll address that. I can address that.
I wasn't, oh, thank you. And that's fine. I just wasn't done. Who has that discretion? Is it the entire council body, or is it just the council president when it comes to amending the schedule? So if you want to answer it, Mr. Clerk or Mr. Michello, either one is fine.
Yeah, I can answer it. By law, every governing body must adopt a council meeting schedule indicating the date, time, place, and location for every single council meeting for the entire year. And that has to take place within the first 10 days of the in January. So by law, we have to indicate when we are expecting to meet. So if we're going to amend that meeting schedule, the governing body as a whole has to amend that resolution indicating their dates. However, if a meeting has to be canceled, if the meeting has to be rescheduled, if a special meeting has to be called, the council president has the authority to do that. But in order to amend the entire council meeting schedule, that would have to be a resolution that came before the entire board.
And that would have to be done tonight, if I'm hearing you correctly.
That resolution adopting the meeting schedule has to be done within the first 10 days. And that meeting, we only have that meeting today. The next meeting would be the 18th. But in order to amend the meeting schedule, that would have to be done by the entire governing body.
Okay, thank you.
That answers your question.
Yes, it does. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I think I'm going to need a roll call for R001-22.
Mr. President, can I just add a couple?
Councilman Akida, you have the floor.
You know, I too do look forward to getting back in person. And I was really hopeful that in the start of the new year that we would be able to all be together. We've been longing for that for over 2 years, almost 2 years. But with the wave of Omicron, I mean, you see what's going on in the schools. You know, there's almost, a quarter of students that have been sick at one time in a single school. It's a really difficult environment. So I do agree with the decision to remain virtual for now, as it is a way that the community can participate in our meetings safely without risking individuals' health. But the councilwoman makes a good point in terms of groundbreakings and so forth. Typically, we have the benefit of having those outside where social distancing can be employed. But hopefully we do get back to in-person meetings. In terms of one meeting versus two meetings, as you know, when I was council president, we did one meeting for pretty much a majority of the time. Me personally, I preferred one meeting to get the business done and to dedicate my time towards constituent services when it comes to answering residents' questions and actually delivering in that way. Mostly what I've seen in terms of meeting is just kind of certain council members just using an opportunity to grandstand. But I don't think we need more of that, but we do need to make sure that each council members are doing what they should do in the community, which is, I think, where council members are most effective. And that's why, it's good to see council members at groundbreakings and at community events and so forth. So that's all I wanted to add.
I just want to respond to Councilmember Hockaday's comments,
Council
and I
President,
do.
I call the question
Excuse
again.
me, but Councilmember Cray, I was literally
call
in the
the
middle of
question.
talking when you said that.
The question is
But
called.
that's fine. Let's call the question.
Councilwoman Davis, I will allow you to wrap up your point, please, so we can move on. But you can go ahead.
Thank you. So what I was going to say in response to Councilman Hockaday is, no, I agree that we should get back to in-person when it is safe, but I think that there should be some conversation around what that looks like. And that's not what I've heard or seen since we started this. But thank you, Councilman Good, for allowing me to finish my statement.
Thank you so much. We appreciate your comment. I believe, Mr. Clerk, I'm going to need a roll call for.
Council President, if I could just make the recommendation that we move resolution 122 separately and then vote on 2 through 7.
I was about to say. That's what I was about to say. We're going to need a roll call for R001.
I think you need a motion to do that.
Yes, but if I may, Councilman McKenna. Is there a motion for 001-22?
So moved, Hockaday.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Any abstentions? Clerk, I need a roll call, please.
Council members Briggs Jones.
Yes.
Councilman Davis.
No.
Councilman Hockaday.
Yes.
Councilman McKenna.
No.
Councilwoman Mills Ransom.
Yes.
Vice President McCray.
Yes.
Council President Barry Good.
Yes.
5 in favor, 2 opposed. Resolution 1-2022 has been adopted.
Are there any questions for R002 through 006?
Mr. President, I move that we lump R002-22 and R006-22 in one block so we can vote on them all together.
Is there a second?
So moved. Seconded, I'm sorry.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed, any abstentions? Motion carries. Okay, we're moving right along to
Resolution 720.
Point of
Wait,
order.
we didn't vote on those. We
Yeah,
just
I was
voted
just
to
about to
lump
say
them
that. We
together.
just, yeah. So I move that we
Put it
vote
on.
on R 002-22 to R 006-22.
Second.
And Councilman Hockaday seconded. All in favor?
She lumped them together.
We put it in a block.
And I'll second it again.
Okay, so all in favor? Aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay,
Council President, if I could just address this.
Yes.
We don't need a separate vote to lump items. The person making the motion can merely call the items as a group and then we can vote on them. So we don't need to do that every time.
Thank you.
Resolution 7/2022, granting approval for the reappointment of Cassandra Corvette as additional municipal court judge.
may I have a motion to
So
approve?
moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstaining? Motion carries. Mr. Clerk?
Resolution 8/2022, granting approval for the reappointment of Patricia Winston Rivera as additional municipal court judge.
Entertaining a motion, colleagues.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Motion carries. Mr. Clerk?
Resolution 9/22, granting approval for the reappointment of Dwayne Warren as chief municipal prosecutor.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining?
Opposed.
Motion. Mr. Clerk, can I have a roll call, please, on 009?
Council members Briggs Jones,
Yes.
Councilwoman Davis,
Yes.
Councilman Hockaday,
Yes.
Councilman McKenna,
No.
Councilwoman Mills Ransom,
Yes.
Vice President McCray,
Yes.
Council President Good.
Yes.
6 in favor, 1 opposed. Resolution's been adopted. Resolution 10/22.
Council President, if I could I make a motion to vote on R10-22 to R15-22?
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Motion carries. Mr. Clerk?
So if I understood correctly, that was the motion to combine and approve 10/22 through 15/22. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
I
moving
believe
on.
Mr. McKenna said 15.
16.
16?
No, I said 15, sorry.
15.
Moving on to resolution 16/22, granting the advice and consent to the appointments of the Plainfield Shade Tree Commission.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed, any abstaining? Motion carries. Mr. Clerk?
Resolution 17/22, granting advice and consent of appointments to the Plainfield Cultural and Heritage Commission.
Entertaining a motion.
So moved.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed, any abstaining? Motion carries.
Resolution 18/22, granting advice and consent of appointments to the Plainfield Planning Board.
Council President, I just have one question about one of the nominees' residency in Plainfield. I don't know how we handle that. Maybe Corporation Council can.
Mr. Manchella? What is your question, Councilman McKenna?
My question is, one of the individuals has a PO box at the top of their resume, and at the bottom of the resume has the PO box and then a care of to an address on Woodland that is owned by Charles and Anna Booker, who have lived there, as we all know, for many, many, many years. So I was not aware that that individual was a resident of that address. I did check the tax records and it hasn't changed hands since 2019 when they added their son to the deed.
Councilman Ken, all I would say is that you don't need to be a property owner in order to be.
No, you have to be a resident, though.
You have to be a resident, correct.
So that's my question.
I can't, although I understand what you're saying, that he may not be the owner of the property, From what you're saying, I don't have any basis to say that he's not a resident. If an individual is a resident, they can in fact then be a member of the planning board. So,
Correct. How do we confirm residency though?
well, I don't have anything to dispute his residency, other than
Do you
he's
have
not the
anything to-
owner
do you
of
have
the
anything to
property.
do you have anything to confirm it when questioned?
Well, I don't know necessarily you're questioning, you're just saying he's not the owner of the property.
I'm questioning his residency at the property too.
Well, listen, all I can say is that the council is free to vote on it. You've raised the issue for council. I don't see any from what you're offering me, there's no legal disqualification that I can say. council
Okay, so
couldn't
let me
vote.
just go on the record now as saying that I'm asking for the administration to provide proof of Plainfield residency. Not ownership. I'm aware that ownership isn't a requirement. That would be silly, but
Council President?
residency is a requirement of planning board membership.
You are correct.
Council President,
Yes, Mr. Mayor, you have the floor.
I have no information that would suggest to me that the individual is not a resident of the city of Plainfield. If the individual represents that he lives at a certain address in Plainfield, I accept that. If anyone desires or wishes to investigate where this person lives, then that can be done by any individual or organization. But he represents that he lives in Plainfield. That's good enough for me.
Thank you. Councilman McKenna, thank you for your remarks. Mr. Mayor, thank you. Is there a motion for this? I'm seeking a motion. Second, anybody?
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
No.
Okay, any abstaining? Mr. Clerk,
I also vote no. I'm sorry.
okay, Mr. Clerk, can we have a roll call, please, on this one? On 00.
Members Briggs Jones,
Yes.
Councilwoman Davis,
No.
Councilman Hockaday,
Yes.
Councilman McKenna,
No.
Councilwoman Mills Ransom,
Yes.
Vice President McCray,
Yes.
Council President Good.
Yes.
5 in favor, 2 opposed, resolution's been adopted. Resolution 1922, granting advice and consent of appointments to the Plainfield Historic Preservation Commission.
Entertaining a motion.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Motion carries. Mr. Clerk?
Resolution 2022, granting advice and consent of appointment to the Plainfield Human Relations Commission.
Entertaining a motion.
Actually,
moved.
Council President, can I make a motion to lump R 20-22 to R 24-22 into one vote?
Is there a second?
Second.
I prefer to be a motion and approve, so we can just lump them together and vote on them rather than just consolidate them like the council said.
That's correct, Councilman. We are voting on them as a block.
Okay.
Was there a second? I didn't hear a second. Was there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Motion carries. Mr. Clerk?
So that was resolution 2022
Down to 24.
to 2422, unanimously approved. Resolution 2522, supporting the County of Union's application as lead agency for the LEAP implementation.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Motion carries. Mr. Clerk?
Resolution 2622, approving qualified vendors and service providers for legal services.
Is there a motion on the floor, please?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Motion carries. Are there any questions on resolutions R 027-22 through R 37-22? If not, may I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Point of order.
Wait,
What are we?
did you just group those?
I believe that was a vote as a block. Yeah, am I correct, Council President?
Yes, it was.
Questions? He asked if there were any questions on those.
And then he said, then we will vote on them, which I understood as the block.
Yes, he asked if there were some questions, and he asked for a motion to approve those resolutions together.
Yes.
And that's going to be
Okay, so there was a motion. And there was a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Any abstaining? Motion carries.
That concludes the resolutions, Council President.
So now we're on to general public comments. A total of 60 minutes have been allocated for all public comments to be presented. If you wish to be heard, please hit the hand icon to be recognized, and you will be unmuted. Once you have been unmuted, please give your name and address for the record. Each speaker will be given 5 minutes. The floor is now open. Is there anyone with their hands raised?
Currently, no one has their hand raised.
Motion to close public comments.
So moved.
Second, there.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Motion carries. Before we adjourn, I'd just like to say thank you, everyone, for your patience and for your time. And we're hoping that everyone, again, as I stated in earlier comments, that you have a happy new year. Remain safe at all times. We can do this, we'll do it together, and this too shall pass. At this time, I would entertain if their motion is to adjourn.
So moved. Huckabee.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstaining? Motion will carry. Good night, everyone.
Good
Have a
night,
good
everyone.